Welcome back to the Master Your Mindset podcast with your host, Isis Foster. This is your go-to destination for all things mind-bending and empowering. So get ready to dive into the world of mindset mastery with insights, tips, and a lot of vulnerable stories. Join us as we unravel the secrets to smashing limitations, conquering challenges, and living your best life ever. Get ready to laugh, learn, and level up your mindset today. And if you haven't already, make sure that you hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. And be sure to tag us on Instagram at Official Mindset Coach so that we can celebrate your journey. Now let's get to it. Hey ladies, I am so excited to welcome you all back to this week's podcast episode. I've got this weird feeling inside me, but I think it's a feeling of excitement because obviously for the last 3 episodes I have had amazing guests on, and this is the first one that I have hosted on my own in a while. But this is a topic which I really want to help so many of you overcome because it's something which I struggled with about a year ago now, when I was in an in-between transition period of my life. And it's something which I know a lot of you out there also struggle with. Having an idea of where you want to be or who you want to become or how you want your life to look like. And then being able to action that and everything in between, thinking about it and making it come to life is honestly so scary. And I've been there myself. When you're in the in-between section of where you are right now and where you want to be and not sure how to get to A to B, and knowing that there are so many obstacles between where you are right now and where you want to be in the future, it often can feel so scary. So this episode right now is for anybody who feels maybe a little bit stuck, or maybe you know where you want to be but you're not sure how to get there. Maybe it's you blocking yourself. Maybe it's your thoughts that you think about every single day popping up and trying to keep you where you want to be because it's within your comfort zone. Maybe you want to break free of that comfort zone, but you're not sure how to. Whatever it is, this is the episode that you need to listen to because it is all the tips which I was able to implement into my own journey to get from where I was to where I am today. And the today version of me, if I could show her to myself a year or even 2 years ago, the older version of me would be shocked at who I am right now, what I've got in my life, how I feel about myself, how I talk to myself, and everything that I have amounted to. So if you're wanting more for yourself, if you're wanting to change the trajectory of your life, then stay tuned because this is the episode for you. So many of you will imagine a certain life or a certain relationship or a certain way that you feel about yourself for yourself. But how many of you are actually actioning, getting closer to that version of you every single day? How many of you actually know what you want as well? I think with social media being as big as it is and people trying to amount to these certain personalities, liking certain trends, jumping on certain fashions, how many of you actually know exactly what you like for yourself? Not what other people like, not what's cool, not what's fashionable, not what's trending. What do you actually like for yourself? What do you actually want? Where do you want to live? What do you want your home to look like? What do you want your pets to be, if you want any pets? Are you thinking right now, I want to live in a house in the city or a high-rise apartment in the city because that's what everybody else has got? Are you thinking you want to have a really cute small dog because that's what everybody else has got? What is it that you actually want for yourself? Because what you actually want might not be what everybody else already has. I think, like I mentioned, with social media being as big as it is, it's very easy to fall into those gaps of, oh, okay, well, that person's just got it and they look really happy, so maybe that will also bring me happiness if I also have those things. When in reality, the thing that brings you happiness doesn't have to be what everybody else has. What you have for yourself only has to make sense to you. It does not have to make sense to everybody else. And I think that's a really important factor in figuring out what you actually want, because a lot of people will think that certain things will make them happy when in reality they just don't. So make a plan for yourself. How are you going to get those things that genuinely make you happy today? What can you implement today to get to where you want to be faster? So when I talk about plans, I don't mean like a 5-year long plan. I mean small, daily, consistent actions which you can begin today to get you to where you want to be. Let's say, for example, your plan is to move out into your own place by the end of next year. What can you start doing today to get you closer to where you want to be by the end of next year? Could it be saving money instead of going out with your friends? Could it be cooking at home rather than going out for meals? Could it be just rounding up your accounts? If you've got Monzo, and this is what I use and it's so helpful, if you've got a Monzo account, and this is in no way partnered with Monzo, however, Monzo, if you want to partner, I'd be very happy to. If you have got a Monzo account, there's a round up option on there, so that if you are trying to save for something, anytime you make a purchase, it will round up to the nearest pound, and the money that it rounds up, it will go straight into a savings pot. And this helps so much. You don't even notice that money rounding up. And then by the end of the month, you will see you've got a little savings pot there. So if you're trying to save, that is definitely a really healthy option and a really inclusive way to do it. Is it having a few nights in rather than big nights out so that you can save a little bit more money? Whatever it is you are trying to achieve, make sure that your steps in order to get there are realistic. Make sure they're not completely overwhelming so that they feel so impossible that you don't even try. Because there is no difference between you and the person who has currently got the life you want. The only difference is that they started taking actionable steps faster and earlier than you have. But there is no reason why you cannot have exactly what they've got to. You just have to implement those steps from today. And another thing which I think is one of the most difficult things to conquer, with everything being so accessible and information being at the drop of your hand, like if you can limit your distractions from where you are right now to where you want to be, the rate in which you'll be able to achieve what you're trying to achieve will happen so much faster. And I mean distractions like scrolling aimlessly on social media or staying too long in an environment where you don't need to be. For example, if you're at a party and you know it's time to leave, but you're just sat there because you feel bad by saying like you need to leave now, these are all distractions which are going to lengthen out the amount of time it takes you to get from where you are now to where you want to be. So distractions can come in any shape or form. Like I mentioned, it could be certain environments, it could be scrolling on social media, it could be binge watching TV when you know that there's other things that you could be doing to get you to where you want to be at a faster rate. Whatever the distraction is, limit it, because your priority should be where you want to be, who you want to become, what you want your life to look like. And if something is getting in the way of that, then that is a distraction. And alongside scrolling on social media, with it being a distraction, you also subconsciously start comparing yourself to those posts or those reels that you're watching, and you automatically start thinking, why does this person have that and why don't I have that? So the comparison between yourself and your real life, because you know everything about you, and the highlight reel of what you are seeing on social media will actually prevent you from getting to where you want to be. It's something which I personally have actually struggled with a lot over the years, and I think working on social media, it only heightens what you don't have, because there are so many incredible houses, incredible bodies, incredible families. But the reality is, and this is something which I would say it's taken me years and years and years to get to this point, but it's only really now that I realise that what I'm seeing on social media is actually people's highlight reels. It's not their whole 100% of their life. It's not all authentic. There are so many edited posts, so many best bits of people's lives, to the point that it's not real at all. It's a snippet of their reality. And the moment that you realise that, you will realise that comparing yourself to these highlights is a complete waste of your time. And don't get me wrong, social media can be such a powerful place if you're looking for like-minded individuals, people who share the same thoughts, people who share the same interests. But if you are literally going onto social media to sit on the explore page and scroll and scroll and scroll, then you are fully wasting your time, because that is time that can be put towards actually achieving a real life for yourself rather than a life behind a screen. So if you ever feel like you're falling into a scroll hole, this could range between 10 minutes to 2 hours. It depends on the person. But if you realise that you're falling into that, then you need to make sure you're setting timers on your phone. And this is something which I have found helps so much. If you're a content creator and you know that you need to post content, or you're looking for a trend online, or you're looking to engage or reply to DMs, whatever it is, set a timer so that when the timer goes off, you know that that is your time on social media done. You no longer have to sit and scroll aimlessly. You no longer have to compare yourself to other people on there. You've posted whatever you need to post. You've found the trend. You've replied to comments. You've messaged people in your DMs. Whatever it is that you're doing on there, go on there with intent. Don't just aimlessly scroll and start wasting your time. And something that goes hand in hand with comparing yourself is to not be too hard on yourself. We are all human. We're all trying our best. There is nobody out there who knows it all. There's nobody out there who has it all figured out. So any time that you feel like somebody does have it all figured out, believe me, they don't. Everybody is just putting their best foot forward and trying their hardest with what they've currently experienced. So when you're having a hard day, or you feel scared to go after what you want, just remember everybody is in the same boat, and you might actually be influencing people and empowering them and inspiring them to do the same as you if you are putting your best foot forward and showing up for yourself consistently. Best believe me, there are some days where I really, really cannot be bothered to post any sort of content, to show up. Even sometimes if I've had like a bad week, I'm like, I really cannot be bothered to record a podcast, but I know there is somebody out there who needs to hear what I have to say. And it's exactly the same for you. Without even knowing, there is so much power within you. You have so much knowledge. And if you're wanting to post content, or maybe you're a podcast host yourself too, and you're wanting to record a podcast, there will be a little fire that ignites within you that says you can actually do this. What you're putting off is far greater than what it's actually going to take you to actually post it. So if you feel like you want to post something, post it. Don't overthink it. Just go and do it. Whatever it is, if it feels scary, it's feeling scary for a reason, because it means that you have to leave your comfort zone. And it means that you're pushing yourself to do something which you probably haven't done before. And it feels uncomfortable. But sometimes being uncomfortable is actually really good for you. So if you do feel uncomfortable and you don't want to do it, just force yourself to do it, because I promise you the results will be far greater than if you don't post it at all. Now for the best bit of this podcast, because I feel like this has been a little bit of a neggy podcast. Like, obviously I'm here to show you that it is so possible to get whatever it is you want in life, even if it is scary. But there are always going to be things that crop up. There's going to be obstacles that come up in your way. There's going to be days where you literally just cannot be asked because you're just having one of those days. But when you reach those milestones, no matter how big or small they are, when you achieve something and you feel happy in yourself, make sure that you celebrate these moments, because it's these moments which will equate to the bigger celebrations. So celebrate yourself, even if it's for the smallest thing. If you are on a journey right now and maybe you're trying to lose a bit of weight, or you're trying to feel better or more comfortable in your body, and you really couldn't be bothered to go to the gym, but you forced yourself to go and you're there and you're working out, look at yourself in the gym mirror and just give yourself a little internal clap, because you will feel so much better once that session is over. I'm going to feel so proud of yourself and so uplifted. And this is where habits are formed. Habits are formed from doing things consecutively over and over and over again. It takes 21 days to form a habit. And if you can do something, even if you don't want to, for 21 days, then a habit is formed, and then you can start beginning to stack your habits. I'm going to do a whole nother podcast on habit stacking, because it is an incredible tool which you can use in any and every area of your life. But if you are somebody who just talks so negatively to yourself, but you still make yourself do things, and we need to switch that negative self-talk up and give yourself some positivity, because you're doing an amazing job. You are showing up for yourself, even on days when you can't be bothered. And if the old version of you could see you right now, then they would be so, so proud of you. So make sure you're celebrating all of the small wins. And most importantly, just start. There's nothing more important in this life than taking action. You can have all the thoughts, all the dreams, all the ideas in the world, but if you aren't actioning them and putting anything out there or moving closer towards where you want to be, then none of those thoughts, ideas, or dreams are ever going to come true. So make sure that you are showing up for yourself, even on the days when you cannot be bothered. Those are the days that mean the most, and it's pushing through those days which will give you the resilience to keep going and get you closer to where you want to be. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. If you've enjoyed or taken any value from what I've shared with you today, please feel free to share on Instagram and tag Official Mindset Coach. Remember, your mindset is your superpower, so keep it positive, keep it strong, and keep conquering new heights. Until next time, stay amazing and keep mastering your mindset.